Hi all. In this video, we will be discussing about hypothesis testing. Before proceed on with the topic, let me introduce myself. I am a product of Anna University, Chennai with 23 years of rich experience. I am a certified global data science corporate trainer. I have completed various foreign certifications in data science with various tools. Conducting various online training programs across the globe in data science encompassing statistics, machine learning and data visualization using Python, R programming, machine learning with R, case-based analysis using SPSS and Excel for US, Australian and Indian participants, and by collaborating with several reputed training institutes since July 2012. Trained 2,700 plus participants worldwide. Received excellent reviews so far. You can see my complete profile bar, the feedbacks, the credentials at https://data-science.glitch.me. Yes, guys, that's all about myself. Let me proceed on with the topic now. So what is hypothesis? A statistical hypothesis essentially is an assumption or you can also call it as an assumption concerning one or more population. Otherwise, you can also call it as an educated guess. Otherwise, we can say hypothesis is a claim or statement about a property of a population. Now, there are two types of hypothesis available. One is the null hypothesis denoted by H0. The next one is the alternate hypothesis denoted by H1 or HA. So the rule behind is the null hypothesis can contain various operators like the assignment operator equal to, or the relational operators like less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. The same way, the alternate hypothesis should not contain equal to, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to sign in it. Next, whenever we have got the sigma, the standard deviation known, then we'll go for z-test. Otherwise, if the standard deviation is unknown, then we need to choose t-test. So when the standard deviation is known, the formula behind is for z-test is x bar, the sample mean, minus mu, the population mean, divided by sigma, that is the standard deviation, divided by the square root of sample size small n. So this is how you will have the formula for z statistics. Now let us see the case. We'll have retail stores new billing system as a case. So the manager of a retail store is thinking about establishing a new billing system for the store's credit customers. She determines that the new system will be cost effective only if the mean monthly account is more than $170. A random sample of 400 monthly accounts is drawn, for which the sample mean is $178. The manager knows that the accounts are approximately normally distributed with a standard deviation of $65. So the primary objective of this case is, can the manager conclude from this that the new system will be cost effective? So first step is to frame the hypothesis. Null hypothesis H0 is given by mu less than or equal to 170. We can consider it as do not install new billing system. Then alternate hypothesis H1 is mu greater than 170. That is, we have to install, the manager has to install the new billing system. Then two ways to address this objective is, one is by means of critical value approach. by finding out the calculated value and the table value, comparing calculated value with the table value. If it is less than, we have to accept the hypothesis. If it is greater, we have to reject the hypothesis. So that is the first approach. The second value is, second objective is the p-value approach. Rejecting or accepting based on the p-value approach. So it is linked with alpha or the error rate, level of significance. So if the value is less than 0.05, we have to reject the hypothesis. Otherwise, we have to accept the null hypothesis. So in the chosen case, we have sample mean is 178, population mean is 170, and standard deviation is 65, and number of samples to be 400. So the critical value approach, it is by using Z formula, that is Z stat equal to x bar minus mu divided by sigma by root n. Substituting the given values, we arrive at the calculated value of Z equal to 2.46. But at the 95% confidence interval and 5% error rate, we have got the table value in Z-test as 1.645. So by comparing calculated value 2.46 with the table value 1.645, calculated value is more than the table value, is greater than the table value. As per the thumb rule, if the calculated value is greater than the table value, we have to reject the null hypothesis. And hence, we conclude that there is enough evidence to infer that the mean monthly account is greater than $170, and hence install new billing system. So this is how we need to prove the hypothesis using critical value approach. Yes. Now let us continue with the second approach, which is p-value approach in Spider. So first of all, let us import the related libraries. I am importing math, then numpy. I'm creating an object as np. Then from numpy.random, I'm importing random. Also, I am picking up a z-test library from stats models.stats.weight stats. So first of all, let me just assign the given value in the case to the related variables, which is mean. I'm just considering the variable as mean IQ equal to 178, then ST IQ is 65 divided by math dot square root of 400, which is our denominator. Then the error rate is alpha, which is 5%, 0.05. Then I'm having the null mean, that is a null hypothesis population mean equal to 170. After which I am just assigning SDIQ multiplied by random of 400 plus mean IQ. So I'm just assigning this expression to a variable called data, which I have to supply in the formula. So the following line number 3, I'm just displaying, I'm going to display z-test score, comma p-value by assigning the z-test of, here I am just supplying data as a first parameter, then value will be the null mean, which is a population mean. Also, I am giving alternative parameter as larger. That is, alternative parameter is should be greater than the population mean. So that is what I am assigning here. Alternative equal to larger as the option. Now in the program itself, I am writing if p-value that we are getting out in the third line, if it is less than the error rate alpha, then we have to reject the null hypothesis. Otherwise, we have to say that we are failed to reject the null hypothesis, meaning to say we accept null hypothesis. So this is how we'll just work on with p-value approach. So if you look at both the values, that is the result, either with critical value approach or with p-value approach, we are having the conclusion as rejecting the null hypothesis. So this is what I want to convey today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you.